John Cain Arena. Magpies taking on the Lightning. I'm Bianca Chatfield, and joining me in commentary is Caitlin Thwaites, and Kira Tromp is across the court on the sideline. We acknowledge the Wurundjeri peoples of the Kulin Nation, the traditional custodians of the land we are meeting here today. There are the Lightning getting ready, putting their bibs on. Let's take a look, Katie, at the two lineups, because we know the Magpies have had some late changes. Sophie Garvin is out and Gabby Sinclair is out due to COVID health and safety protocols. And so we've got some changes. Nia Allen, their training partner, she gets the tick in goal attack.
Yes, so they've gone with Nia Allen, one of their training partners. She's also been out there and taken the court for the Magpies many times before. So we've got Jovic in centre, Brazil in wing defence, and obviously Jiva back there at the back. And over to the Lightning.
Cara Conan and Steph Wood, the two Aussie Diamonds, will be starting us off, but keep an eye on Riley Bachelor-Dor, because she will take the court at some stage, I'm sure. Then the sisters, Maddie and Tara Hinchliffe, one at centre, one at goal defence, and then Katie Ann Dehaney in her 50th game. A former Melbourne Vixen who is joined the Sunshine Coast Lightning, getting more court time as a defender, and it's great to see her out there more.
Yeah, it really is. You know, she definitely was stepping up there for the Vixens, and it's really hard to be able to hold on to players when they definitely are deserving that court time. She's sought some opportunities, headed up to the Lightning, and she's looking like she'll be a mainstay, but they're still building that defence end, aren't they, Bea?
It is a young defence end. We saw the fact that there's been changes, but also that with this young defence end, you can only get better when you're out there and when you're getting experience every single round.
And let's not forget the huge goal shooters that they are coming up against week in, week out.
That's right. And but the best experience, as we see the Lightning coming out onto court, was their win against the Thunderbirds in round 3. It was a close game. They won by 1. It was a huge intercept right at the end of that game that was crucial, and that was from Hinchliffe. So keep an eye on them. They'll come flying for balls as the Magpies are being introduced out onto court now. Brazil, crowd favourite here. Jodie Ann Ward, expect her to take a lot of intercepts, and then the co-captain Jiva Mentor. The start, remember how crucial the start is for both teams. They've been working on it. They want to make sure that they can get the first score on the board.
Little Magpies fan.
Magpies fan, isn't it? Collingwood with the centre pass. Jovic will get us started. Allen touches the ball for the first time. Brazil finds Brown. Magpies trying to get it in quickly. They do. Magpies with the first score on the board. Great connection already between Ellen and Nelson.
Yeah, and look, they've been training together. Nia Allen's been a training partner with the Magpies for many seasons now, so I'm sure they have got a really great connection, and it will be, you know, she'll be settling into that game, into the pace of the game.
Conan steadies for the Lightning's first goal. Brown finds Allen across the court, straight into Nelson. It's like a training drill for the Magpies.
Really great second phase depth. You could see Kelsey take that centre pass, Allen getting that really nice and close to circle edge, and the ball going straight into Nelson.
Conan, Sherian with the ball in her hands. 101 games for her tonight. Wood.
Just that shooter to shooter. Those two have a really great connection, don't they?
They sure do. Keep an eye on that combination. It's Brown into the pocket. Allen
hits the board early. That's got to settle a few nerves, doesn't it?
Impressive start by the Magpies. Sherian turns on the Jets, her speed. Conan, back to Sherian. What can they do? Jovic tries to get in there. Hinchliffe finds Wood, and it's straight across, shooter to shooter.
With the goal defence.
Conan just with her hand up on her face.
I think she might have cocked a straight elbow or a stray hand there. She seems to be okay.
Allen forces her way through. Hinchcliffe with all the attention on her. Hands over, straight up. What can Lightning do? Allen finds Brown. Brown's doing a mountain of work and attack, which is no surprise.
A really great sweep across the circle there. Just, she warranted all the attention from the defenders.
Sherian to Wood. Wood looks straight into Conan, goes elsewhere, wants it back again. Keep an eye on under the post right now. You can just see it. Ward and Conan just pushing and shoving. The physicality of this game is starting early. Brazel to Ward. Jovic looks long, has to go short. Wood nearly gets a hand in it.
Instruction centre. Yep.
Brown. You can see Nelson with her hand up in the background. Beautiful placement from Allen.
And a great take, ripped it in with one hand. Just spilled over the back, and we see the 50-game Acadian Dehaney bringing the ball back into play.
Cassidy through Hinchcliffe. Sherian straight to Wood. Precision passing from Sherian.
I think she knew she was going to step if she put her other foot down, so she had to get rid of it. Mighty quick. Let's see that again.
Harvey Norman replay. Quick hands. Hinchcliffe cross to Conan. Wants to go straight back out. Is it too early in the game to just look to the post? Conan didn't even attempt to look to the post then.
Well, I think if she's got the intention, like for me as a shooter, I'm always wanting to be turning to the post because it actually creates space. It gets the defender off you. They have to get back there 3 feet, and then you can make your choice and your decision. Whereas if you're not actually addressing the post and even looking like you're going to shoot, then the defenders can actually stay right on you.
Magpies have the ball in their attack third. Brown. Allen puts it straight over to Nelson. Nelson started off the game against the Swifts in round 3 in great form. She was unstoppable under the post.
Yeah, the first quarter, they absolutely hit the ground running in that first quarter. The connection, they were, you know, able to throw lots of balls into her, you know, and she was converting. She shot 100%, I think, that game. So,
Ward with the rebound.
Just the connection lacked as that game wore on. So we saw Sophie Garvin take the goal shooter bib. But we obviously, knowing they're lacking some shooters in their lineup today, so would expect to see Nelson try to step up and take the bulk of that shooting load again.
Nelson again in her happy place. Her 4th for the game. Conan back to Sherian. What can Wood do? She's out again. They love playing around with it, the Lightning, getting a more favourable position.
Yeah, and I love that move straight up the middle from Steph Wood there, especially when the 2 defenders are sitting in the circle. Having that space going right up the middle. Sometimes it's just gets a little bit confusing as to which defender needs to pick up that that drive up the middle.
Wood takes the Lightning's lead out by 2. Brown to Nelson. It just looks so easy.
The centre pass received straight to goal assist. Kelsey Brown has...
Does that count as second phase? Let's look at the Harvey Norman replay here.
That's the best second phase, isn't it? Straight to shot. Yeah, I mean, Kelsey Brown, she can't be faulted for siding her shooter, can she?
Strong hold and take by Conan. The Lightning out by 2. Just over 8 minutes to play in this first quarter. Let's go across the court to Kira Tromp. What are you noticing, Kira?
Yeah, look, I'm noticing that last centre pass, Maddie really took a strong drive. As we see offside pick up there by the Lightning. She took a really strong drive up the middle, which broke the wall defensive pattern of the Lightning down, which opened up that second phase for her. The Lightning have been running quite a strong wall defence of the centre pass, so keep an eye on whether Kelsey's picked that up yet.
Ward tries to get it. Wood taps it back in. Lightning, though, remain in possession.
Ooh, and just a really quick, very smart play. Jiva's mentor's eyes were down and Wood just picked it up straight over the top.
Great insights from Kira Tromp. She'll be joining us a lot throughout this game, especially the wall defence. She brings that up because that's exactly what she used to do with the Queensland Firebirds. When we talk about a wall, Caitlin, what do we mean on that transverse line?
It's pretty much what it sounds like. The three players, so having the centre drop back on that transverse line and almost jump the line so that the two players that are trying to bust their way through are literally met with a wall of three players.
So when it works, it is so strong, isn't it? It's very hard to break.
Yeah, super strong and really hard. And a lot of the time you'll see when teams are putting on that wall, it's really hard to break through for those players, so it actually sends the centre pass back, which plays into the hands of the defenders because they've got more time to set up the defence that they want.
Conan tries to keep it in. She is met by the post. Brazel to Jovic, back to Brazel. What can she do? She tries to create some momentum down court. Finds Allen. Jovic looks straight into Nelson.
Yes.
Brown, straight up. Lightning caught with their eyes down. Jovic goes back to Brazel. Brown to Nelson.
I feel like we're going to hear those two names in succession a lot.
Great rebound by Nia Allen.
Go, keeping you two. You're too close to.
She probably found out yesterday that she was taking the court today, and she has not skipped a beat.
Yeah, she trains in the Collingwood environment and will be very familiar with all these players, and I'm sure they've all got around her. She looks like she's at home out there, so can't wait to see what she brings to the rest of this game, Nia Allen.
Just over 5 minutes to play in this first quarter. You'll hear a buzzer soon. That means we are in our power five and that everything will be worth two.
The goal defense now, players. Go to end. Yes.
Everything within the white arc will be worth two, I should say. Allen finds Brown right on the edge of the circle. There's that siren. Nelson gets a rebound. One it is to start with. Hinchlet. Cross to Sherian. Brazel trying to stop Sherian from getting on the edge. Can't do it though.
Next to the keeper. Yes.
Wood to take it. And the Lightning extend their lead by 2.
Neither team seems to be in a hurry or you know, working that ball into super shot range at the moment. So obviously both happy, just kind of feeling each other out.
Much more patient play from both teams in this first quarter.
Nelson looking, oh,
Allen for her first super shot. Does she take it? Here she goes again. Suncorp super shot. Nia Allen, welcome to the game. Wood.
So Nia actually debuted in 2020, which was the first year that we saw the super shot. So she will be very familiar with the tactics and things around how to use that. She's been out there on the court with the team.
Let's get across to Kira. What are you hearing from the coaches?
Yeah, so Vicky Wilson here and Kylie Byrne both asking for their defenders to get around and have a go at that rebound. They haven't been able to pick one up. As we see another one, it's a bit hard when it goes straight through, but defensively they want more work from their 50-gamer, Katie Ann Dehaney, just to have a crack at that loose ball when it comes off the rebound.
how quickly the Magpies have caught up. They're now up by 1. Conan to even score. She misses an easy shot. The Magpies, they're gaining momentum. Ward to Brown. The speed is on. Nelson. Oh, and another one just sent way over the top. The vision from Kelsey Brown to be able to float that over. Katie Ann Dehaney, she is a tall defender.
Yeah.
Float that over her hands.
And you get the sense like the Magpies kind of build that ball speed, and when there's not a lot kind of coming, that ball speed gets halted. You can sense that they're going to launch that big one in, don't you? So just watch that. If the Lightning manage to kind of stem and slow down that attack end for the Magpies, we might be in for a few more getting launched from way off.
Conan. She's holding strong in front of Mentor. Wood. Her turn. Gets the rebound for 1.
I love it when the shortest players get the rebound, Bianca.
It's hard to believe. It's like the defenders just forget, or they expect it to go in.
Well, here we see that wall again from the Lightning.
A wall of white. Brown, though, she cracked it straight open. The first miss for Shimona Nelson. Actually, no, it's not. I just saw the stats updated. Hinchliffe finds Wood. Back to Hinchliffe. Sherian looks in, can't find anyone. You might get confused. There's 2 Hinchliffes on court. We have Tara at goal defence. We have Maddie at centre. And yes, they are... Oh, Brazel! Great pick up by Brazel as she goes flying down.
She's super quick onto those loose balls, isn't she?
Allen, straight to Nelson. Here we go, Harvey Norman replay as Ward gets her hand in there and Brazel pounces on that. We have a HCF tactical timeout. A chance now where we get to sit back and listen to what the coaches are instructing their teams. We're going to go into the Magpies huddle with Nicole Richardson.
Opened up nicely. Good job on the 2-point shot. Well done. Yeah, we're going to get another opportunity in attack. We score again. Hit scoreboard, ticking over. Strong position under rebounds. Next lot of centre passes until the timeout's called. One-on-one hands over. Don't let your player get depth. Sit on the inside line. Push them wide and don't let them slip ball side. Okay?
When one comes back, ready for the... Just go back with her?
Yes. Go back with her and get behind her and then push her up the court. Yeah? Just got to switch ball side earlier. Okay, let's go.
Nicole Richardson, fire it up.
Oh, defensively, prep hard. 3, 2, 1.
She wants one-on-one defence. She wants hands over. She also wants Nia Allen to keep shooting, if she can, some more Suncorp super shots.
Yeah, and I found that really insightful from Nicole Richardson, just asking her players not to allow their opponent to slip into that ball side positioning. So making sure that their players, their opponents, are having to go over the top of or fight in front of one of their defence.
Under a minute to play in this first quarter. Steph Wood has a go, misses. Conan does well to rebound.
And we also see Jackie Newton enter the game here at goal defence. I wonder if defensively they've got a defensive power 5. I wonder if the defenders have figured out that there's a better combination as to who they want to have on the court at those times.
Hinchliffe, oh, this is a hug between Hinchliffe and Mentor. The ball goes sailing over the sideline. Jovic to Newton. Jackie Newton out on court now for Jodie Ann Ward in goal defence. Brown tries to look in. There's no one in the circle for the Magpies, but Allen's there. And she gets another one
from the exact same spot, Ben. All threes. That top of that circle.
what a recruit Nia Allen has been into this Magpies lineup without Sophie Garvin, their gun recruit from the start of the season, and Gabby Sinclair. A huge first quarter from the Collingwood Magpies. They wanted that, they needed that start, but the Lightning, there's been some impressive play from them.
Yeah, there definitely has been impressive play, and I love the ball speed that they provide as well, but also that composure in the attack line.
You're watching Fox Netball. That is the first quarter. The Magpies are leading by 4. We'll be back soon with the next quarter. Here we are back for the second quarter, and Kira Tromp is over there listening into the Magpies.
Yeah, look, Nicole Richardson really happy with her team. She wanted more of the same. Defensively, she asked for her players to get ball side and really dictate. I think they're doing that really well tonight, which is the real difference. In attack, getting some beautiful line down court, Kelsey Brown, getting the circle edge, and the second phase, they're just punishing the Lightning at the moment. So that's an area where the Lightning really need to improve.
And Caitlin Thwaites, you were getting an insight into the Lightning huddle. We'll get to that in a second as we get this second quarter underway. The Magpies leading by 4 as we start off this second quarter. Straight away, the Magpies flooding in defence. What do the Lightning need to do?
Well, it's quite interesting actually listening into the Lightning at quarter time. They were sharing a lot of their stats, so it's quite clear that they've got some really clear targets as to what they're trying to hit with their conversion rates.
So she gets a hand in there for her first deflection.
So Kylie was quite happy with the conversion rate of their centre pass, sitting at about 88%, but their turnover ball conversion is not as good. So that's something that they're going to be working on in the second quarter.
Jovic finds Brown. Back to Brown. Brown is everywhere in this attack end for the Magpies, and so is Nelson. Cassidy. Down back, Sherian to Conan.
Just a really great baseline move. I know Cara Conan, I feel like she needs a name on that baseline. She owns that baseline a lot of the time and slipping out of Jiva's vision there.
Let's get across to Kira Tromp. Mahalia Cassidy, how are you finding that matchup with Kelsey Brown?
Look, she's just getting caught out when Madison Brown in Adelaide. No, when Kelsey crosses sides of the court, she actually gets on the opposite side after the wall, which is exposing Mahalia not being in position. So for me, at the moment, the wall isn't working on the second phase. They're getting caught out, and Kelsey's really exposing him there. As we see another turnover from the Lightning, which won't make Coach Byrne happy.
Yeah, Kira, can I ask on that? So is that then the centre's responsibility to try and find and track down the wing attack if they're ending up on the opposite side?
Correct, Caitlin, and I actually think that's where the breakdown is at the moment. Maddie isn't finding Kelsey quick enough, and she's crossing sides of the court with too much ease. There's no dictation happening at all.
And I wonder if this is exactly what Coach Kylie Byrne is going to be saying as Steph Wood, the captain, calls a HCF tactical timeout.
Interestingly though, Maddie Hinchcliffe's actually leading the miss and net points for the Lightning. So I wonder if, even though they're exposing an area for them, she's actually still having impact.
Let's have a listen in to the Lightning huddle.
Okay. Now, when we step out there, this is going to take energy just to lift. At the moment, we look like we're just at one pace and we're just going through some motions. Go back to what we know that brings us together and lifts. So you want to go, you want to find a body, you want to get out and contest, but it takes movement. So in defence, you've got to keep shifting the ball side and running through
love that from Steph Wood.
Well, she's really just talking about what's next, isn't it? It doesn't matter what happens. You just need to get on to what's next. What is your next job, and get to it straight away.
And for any young netballer out there, if you spend too much time worrying about what's just happened, you miss so much about the opportunities that are right ahead of you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And here we go. Here's this wall from the Lightning. As Laura Sherian comes up with it, it'll work this time. As you see Kate Walsh enter the game. Formerly Kate Shimon. She's come onto the court for the Lightning at goal defence. Hinchliffe across the court. Sherian's only got one arm to tackle it. Conan. Nice and easy from her.
One arm's all Sherian needs, though, B, because she's actually one of the only players that can pass just as well off her left and right hands.
And also, I remember her as a young athlete, and she is a lot shorter than a lot of other wing attacks and centres, and so she trained herself to be able to use both hands, to add something different to her game, and look where she's come from. Like, it's a huge advantage for her now when she's out here on the court.
Well, she wasn't going to beat them in terms of height, so she's now got the skill to be able to beat them, doesn't she?
Doesn't matter how tall you are. And she's got speed to burn as Magpies are back in possession. Allen straight up to Nelson, barely looks in. That connection is the strongest I've seen all season from the Magpies.
Yeah, it really is, and I think when they're on song, I think it's about that consistency for the Magpies, so let's hope that they can keep it up all game.
Conan, another one. Magpies, look at this wall again on your screen. Walsh out. Now Walsh is out of position. Nelson, that take so strong.
Super strong. And Tara Hinchcliffe just coming up with a really great rebound as she's taken on the goalkeeper bib, and we see Dehaney go to the bench.
Cassidy backing up on the transverse line. Sherian to Wood. Trying to be creative. What can they do?
Jackie Newton with a great backing up tip there. She got both feet back under the ball, straight up for the tip.
Newton doesn't get a huge amount of minutes on court, but she sure comes up with the ball a lot. Hinchliffe has a go herself. Jovic, does she look in? That shooter-to-shooter pass. That's a tough one for defenders to try and break.
Definitely is.
Has a Harvey Norman replay. Jackie Newton gets up there, pulls the ball in after getting the tip. Kira, it's been great seeing Ash Brazel taking on Laura Sherian.
Absolutely. Look, it's so impressed with the work that Ash is doing. She's dictating space. She spoke a lot with Molly during the break and Newton about pushing them out towards the sidelines, opening up the middle channel, as we see there for Jiva to come through and have a go at the intercept. A true wing defence, really shutting a player out of the game.
And don't you love to see it? They don't always rack up high on the Nissa net points, but they sure do a lot of work off the ball. Nelson, that's her 17th of the game already, shooting at 80%. Jovic to Brown. Newton, not confident going long, but Brown, she'll look straight in. Two-handed take by Nelson.
Another strong take. The defence is actually mixing up their positioning, so working around whether they're in front or behind, but at the moment, Nelson is just getting up to all of those balls, isn't she?
Lightning's made a change. Riley Bachildor is on the court for Steph Wood at goal attack. She can have a little bit more of a rest now while the ball is back down into the Magpies attack. Allen. Walks, has another go, gets the rebound.
Is that the Kate Walsh effect there, do you think? One of the best rejectors of the game. And she's just faking in terms of when she's actually going to jump at the shot. And a lot of the time, it does actually put doubt into the shooter's mind as to, is she going to reject me here?
Last night we saw Olivia Lewis for the Melbourne Vixens. She has a huge vertical jump, and I think Kate Walsh for the Sunshine Coast Lightning would definitely match her on that. So goes off court. Hinchcliffe to get us started again. Sherian straight down, trying to use her speed, trying to create momentum. Newton gets her hand in there. Batcheldor. What can she do? She steps on court. I don't know if she realised she was taking a throw in there. She just stepped right on the court.
Yeah, maybe she thought it was a penalty.
Not to, oh, Cassidy comes flying through. The urgency and the intent for the ball is there for both teams. Magpies just finishing it off strongly. Jovic looks up.
Big hands from Maddie Hinchcliffe there, just disrupting the line of sight into the shooter.
Allen back to Brown. Back to Allen. Strong, steady.
That's a more confident shot. She wanted to get that one away nice and quickly so that Walsh couldn't have a look at it.
Brown tries to go long. Newton back up. Allen gives it straight to Maddie Hinchcliffe. Held ball, great pressure by the Lightning. Sherian goes back, wants it again, double plays, but Brazel picks it up off the ground. Brown, back to Brazel. Walsh comes flying. We've seen her do that a lot. Trying to create momentum, trying to change it up.
And just running at some of those passes actually does create almost what we call a snowball effect. So it's not that one, and the next one might have a run at a ball, and it's the third one that will actually get turned over. So Kate Walsh trying to make things happen out there for the Lightning defence.
Conan to Sherian. One wing attack to another. Kira. Kelsey Brown, what are you noticing?
The space in the world there. Every time she gets the ball, her player is at least 4 to 5 feet off. I really think they need to step up and work really strong hands over the ball as we hear the call held here from the Lightning bench. So there's just too much space and she's getting that double play down court so easily, and I really think that hand over pressure needs to be right over the top of the ball.
Such a smart player, Kelsey Brown, as we see her take this throw in.
Another incorrect throw in there, B. Those ones are the coach killers.
I know, you don't want to have to go to a timeout or something after that happens, do you? You just want to hope the game goes on and you get a chance to do something good so the coach forgets about it. Allen, incredible performance from her tonight. Already she steps into this game. She's showing Nicole Richardson, hey, pick me every game. Hinchcliffe to Conan. Back out to Walsh. Great backup from Walsh and Cassidy on the transverse line.
Bag obstruction centre.
Batcheldor. They're struggling to go in. Mentor sitting right behind Conan. Brazel goes flying.
Get the feeling that she is definitely getting herself involved in the game. She's come up with a few loose ball gets, disrupting with a few tips. And that is the power 5. That one just counting for 1 though.
Another HCF tactical timeout's been called by the Magpies. Potentially this is a power 5 HCF timeout. Change plans, work out what you're going to do.
Talk about the strategy.
Absolutely, it's all about strategy. You better believe it. Let's have a listen to what Nicole Richardson has to say.
Chance to get their breath, go again. We are doing a really good job. I reckon off the centre pass, we're just struggling a little bit off the centre pass. So see if we can have a look at maybe trying to stretch the wall a little bit further. So maybe if we go one start a little bit wider, yeah, and one start. So if you've got, this is the outside person, right? One start at the outside person and the other one start like in here maybe, and see what we can do. Just try and stretch it a bit more. Yeah. So if you go closer together, outside one here, right? And this one can either cut the inside or take on, or you can screen to open up the outside. Yeah? Okay? Keep pushing hard, long court, let this one do the work, sit back a bit deeper and punch. Let's go, girls! Let's go, ladies! It's only a breather if we use it properly, right? Intense out there. Let's go. 3, 2, 1! Let's go!
What does Nicole Richardson Richardson mean by and punch? Not literally, I hope.
No, punching, just wanting that extra bit of drive from our players. But some amazing insights there from Nicole Richardson, literally talking about how they could get through that lightning wall.
Brown again, straight up.
We see that lightning changes on the screen there.
Hinchcliffe in at goalkeeper. That's Tara, not Maddie. We see Cassidy, Steph Wood back on the court.
And Miller take the wing attack bid there.
Great pressure by the Magpies, causing that turnover. A held ball, Mentor to get the Magpies back into attack. Brazel to Jovic. Brown, will she looking from there? No, not this time. Newton straight across to Brown. Cassidy, hands up, but not close enough. Jovic finds Nelson. Magpies extend their lead by 11. This is the best start we've seen from the Magpies all season.
It is. It feels like they've got it all their way at the moment. So it's up to Lightning to try and cause them to change something. Because at the moment, they're running things, especially down this attack end.
Cassidy gets a hand to it. Hinchcliffe pulls it in, and Lightning are back into attack. Bacheldor, Sherian, cross to Wood. Here she goes. Newton, good rebound positioning. Brazel goes long, finds Allen. Straight up to Nelson. Magpies, this is the team we've been waiting to see. This performance, Nicole Richardson would be very happy with this start. Wood looks across to Bacheldor. Miller gets in there, can't quite get that to Bacheldor, but she'll get another go. Newton, her second rebound in a matter of seconds. Allen as well in attack is doing a huge amount of work. Brown is now going long and Allen is stepping up short and trying to help bring that ball down.
She is, and as we just see another incredible take from Nelson. Allen is definitely doing a lot of that kind of ball carrier role through the court. So we see Molly Jovic just head back a little bit deeper. So the goal attack is actually playing, that connection role, trying to work with one of the mid-quarters to get the ball down the court.
Jovic to reset. No Lightning defenders with hands over that ball. Not even the mid-court. It goes in very easily to Nelson. And Newton, another hand on it. Deflection for her.
I would have actually said that may have been one of the reasons that Kylie Byrne went with Maddie Hinchcliffe in the centre, because of that height difference that she creates out there. She's very tall, got big hands over to try and stop and hold up that feed coming in. But as we're seeing at the moment, she's not on the court.
And the Magpies extend their lead by 15. Brazel quickly finds Newton. They're falling all over, but it doesn't matter. An uncharacteristic drop for Nelson this game. What can the Magpies do in defence? What can the Lightning do in attack? Less than a minute to play in this second quarter. Miller across to Sherian. Wants the ball back.
Yeah, having to go back to that line to try and reset. And a swing to open the other side.
Jovic out of play. Sherian just off the edge of the circle. Miller wants to give it to Wood. Brazel gets her feet in there.
Ring defence is out. It's in the two.
It's not footy, Braz. You can't use your feet.
Where she was going for it. Yep, right there.
Wood.
A little rock back, but haven't quite found the radar on that two-point shot yet, Lightning. We know that they can still be very dangerous though, don't we?
When you step back, is that to allow yourself more space, or is it part of her rhythm?
I would
Nelson rips that out of the air. Sorry, Kato, I asked you a question. I cut you off. What a brilliant take from Nelson. And that takes us to the end of the second quarter. Magpies, 20-16 in the first quarter, 18-7 in the second quarter.
That is a huge quarter from the Magpies, and I can imagine that Kylie Byrne will not be too happy with that quarter.
15-goal lead to the Magpies. Lightning, they need to get themselves back into this game. Kira Tropf is down there with a player who has had a brilliant start, Nia Allen.
The lady of the moment, Nia, unbelievable by you. You look like you've been out there for the whole season, if not since the start of the Magpies. 88%. Your combination with Nelson felt really natural. How have you felt it out there on court tonight?
Yeah, it's felt really good. They've got good players around me. We're just working well together and setting up for each other.
For you, what's a work on for the second half that you'll be looking to improve in?
Probably just keeping possession, and when we get a turnover, to score from it and take the 1 or the 2 as it comes.
The 3 out of 3, the super shot, you had 100% in that range. How do you think about where you are on court and when you want to score that?
Not really, just take it as it comes.
All the best for the second half, Nia. Awesome first half.
Thank you.
Spoken like a true champion, Nia. Just take it as it comes. No pressure at all.
I love these the young ones that are coming in, and they just literally don't even seem phased, do they?
No, but that's what you want from your youngsters as the Magpies head out to their change rooms. We have another great clash coming up for you on Fox Netball. The Adelaide Thunderbirds will be hosting the New South Wales Swifts. The Thunderbirds, they did lose to the Lightning last week. They'll be wanting to get another win on the board. And the New South Wales Swifts, well, aren't they performing well without their gun, Sam Wallace, in their shooter position. They've found some young guns, and we cannot wait for this. But stay with us. We'll have the second half coming up very soon. The Magpies start to get ready to come out onto court. The Lightning, though, they beat them out there. They are ready to get started. They've got work to do to catch up this Magpies lead.
And we see the other two sisters out there. We've got Tara Hinchcliffe donning that goalkeeper bib, and Maddie Hinchcliffe is taking the wing defence bib.
Let's cross down to the Sunshine Coast Lightning coach, Kylie Byrne. Thanks for joining us, Kylie. What was the message at halftime?
Yeah, look, we were pretty honest in there. We were very disappointed with what we put out, and you know, we had a look at both our attack and defence, and in the end we were just giving them way too much space in attack, but mostly we just didn't score goals. We got gains and we got the ball past halfway, but we didn't convert it. So I've asked more of Cara and Steph. You know, the volume just wasn't there, and we've got to be able to make ourselves free.
And Kylie, in terms of your defence, how do you go about, what are the specifics in terms of wanting your players to be closer? How do you go about that?
Yeah, we're talking about things like when you're, you know, when you've got hands over the ball, you should actually be retreating off someone. You shouldn't be running up to them, because it means you're not even in the contest to start with. And we're talking, we've got some, you know, we're talking a number, so maybe being, you know, less than a metre away from someone. You can't give a team like the Magpies space, because, you know, someone like a Kelsey and a Molly will just use their speed to burn you, and that's exactly what's happened.
And just quickly, you probably weren't preparing to have Nia Allen out there on court. She is in incredible form. How do you go with talking to your defenders about how to stop her?
Yeah, and, you know, they got that momentum after Nia's super shots, but even just the second phase work she's doing, you know, it's great. We're all for these Aussie attackers coming out and having a go. I just wish it wasn't against us this week.
And you love all the young ones being the Aussie under-21 coach. Thanks so much for joining us, Kylie. All the best for the second half.
Thanks, guys.
We see Allen's straight across to Nelson. It's just so great that the coaches give us their time at halftime. I can imagine so many opportunities where they'd be thinking, we don't want to talk to them, but it's great, and we really do appreciate Kylie joining us. Conan back to Sherian, across to Wood. She flicks it off and finds Conan.
And great to hear that they're having those honest discussions and conversations, and we're obviously looking at an potential Australian Diamonds attack end here with the goal shooter and goal attack bib on, and she's clearly asked them to step up in terms of what they're putting out there on court. So let's see if they do that in this second half.
Cassidy starts the momentum for the Lightning. She gets the ball again, finds Wood. Not comfortable shooting, Wood goes out.
Contact, goal defence.
Conan gets bodied in the air. Is there a point where, we spoke about it earlier, the shooters to go to the post or to play around with it? Does sometimes playing around with it give the defenders more of an opportunity to get a hand in?
Yes, sometimes it does. Yeah, but I think for me, I would really like to see Steph a lot of the time. She's passing that ball back out to the mid-quarters and she's looking for the screen, to set up the screen to try and allow that ball to go into Conan. I would love to see her just demand that ball and give it and go again herself and really take charge rather than, you know, a lot of the time she is that composed player. But I would like to see her step up and demand it and take the game on herself.
Sherian, here she goes to Wood. What's she going to do? Back out she goes. Contact against Mentor. Wood to take it. Lightning back within 13 of the Magpies. It sounds like a lot. They can still do it.
Especially with a quick transition like that. Beautiful. Just a little double play and over the top.
Magpies back into attack. Brown. Back to Mentor. Conan. Chief wasn't even expecting Conan to be there. Jovic bounces off her, finds Nelson. The luck is going their way.
And just had a little seat down the back there on the sign as well. And in it again.
Pinch lift. As we see a Harvey Norman replay of Jovic getting that, balancing, putting the ball up, the advantage of having a tall shooter. Sherian, her 101st game. To Cassidy. Wood, straight to Conan.
That's better in terms of that decisive, just grabbing the ball going and looking straight for that shooter to shoot us. So hard to stop.
See our Nissan net points on the screen. Kelsey Brown leading the way with 61. Ash Brazel not far behind her on 51, and then Nia Allen, the training partner for the Magpies, brought in at last minute on 47. The Nissan net points, it's a way of giving a bit of a scorecard to the players out there. So how you earn points is you do good things. You know, you get intercepts, deflections, feeds, shots are all the positives, the shots. And you lose points though when you make some mistakes. Turnovers, bad passes.
On the ball.
So that's how it's accumulated, and we'll keep an eye on it. Wing defences, though, they quite often don't accumulate a lot of points. However, their tagging role is the way they can really cut their wing attacks out of the game.
And quite often with a wing defence, if they have limited the amount of impact that their wing attack has actually had, I would be looking at that as a really, really good stat for them. We just saw Jodie Ann Ward re-enter the game at goal defence. Jackie Newton just taking a breather.
And Maggie Lind is warming up in the background. Is this a chance for Nicole Richardson to put more players out there to try things, or would they not be confident enough with this lead yet?
I would think that they would be wanting a full 60-minute performance. So no matter who's getting put out there, I think that Nicole Richardson would be wanting more from their players and to not have some of the lapses that they've had in some of their previous games. So if we do see a couple more players out there, got Ruby Barkmeyer also sitting on the bench down there. I wonder if we'll see her. I think the biggest thing for them is getting a full 60 minutes.
Allen, not sure what to do with it. Walsh comes flying. to Nelson. 34 from 38 for Shimona Nelson. A great performance from her. Hinchliffe finds Sherian. Conan, strong hold in front of Mentor. You can see them bodying up on each other. Oh, just keeps that one in. Wood steadies. That's only Wood's 9th goal so far in the game. Is that enough for her? Does she need to be putting up more? I think for Steph Wood, she plays the absolute key role in terms of her her gameplay, the way that she sets up their attacking. So I wouldn't be too, you know, disheartened by the fact that she's only put up 9 shots, because she does, in terms of her gameplay, like she literally sets up their attacking from having the ball in hand. So it would be really interesting actually to see how many times in a game Steph Wood actually has the ball in her hands, because I would say it would be a lot. Kerry, you've been keeping an eye on Lightning defence. What would you do? What changes would you make?
Look, I think now's the time. They need to take risks. They need to come out and have a crack at the ball, and they need to be in the front position. No, they can't retreat. They need to make sure that someone has got the option to come forward and have a go at the ball. And I believe that's what Vicky and Kyla will be asking their players for this next 6 minutes. Starting here now with the ball going in, but it's turning the ball over now. They're running out of time now. They need to get goals on the board.
And we talk, you know, about a one-on-one defence and whether they go off into a zone to allow Walsh to come flying for the ball or Hinchliffe to come flying out for the ball. That's how they won it last week against the Thunderbirds, wasn't it? It was
absolutely
that dying intercept come and fly. How can they create that? How
they
can
need
they
to build
that
that
pressure?
hard work, that one-on-one pressure that forces the ball as we see Steph go to post. They need to put that one-on-one pressure on, and Maddie's done a good job of hands over on Kelsey, slowing the ball down. Like Caitlin said at halftime, it's all about slowing it down, and then you just need those back plays to come out and have a crack.
Also comes in handy, doesn't it, when the shooters get in amongst the defence. You always want the defence to start from the goal shooter. If the opposition is bringing the ball down the court, the more defenders, the better. Got just over 6 minutes in this third quarter. The Power 5 will come into play in the last 5 minutes.
Great switch there from the Collingwood defenders, just knowing exactly where their players were trying to set up.
Brown, no one on Nelson. We spoke about Hinchliffe and Walsh flying out. They flew out, but Nelson all on her own as Brazel sneaks around to get that intercept. Jovic to Brown. Allen. Back to Brown, back to Allen. Triple play there. Straight to Nelson.
And the Lightning really need to get one of their players in between the two when that type of a play is happening.
You just have to have a go. You just have to have a crack at it. As Mentor has a crack at that one.
Great effort there from Conan.
To Wood. Conan.
Back over the top.
You'll hear the siren for the Power 5. For every successful Suncorp Super Shot in the Power 5, Suncorp donate $100 to the Confident Girls Foundation. As Nia Allen does, she add $100 to it. Not this time, but she has already had 3 so far in this game.
That's it.
Nelson.
Still carrying on at 90% there, Nelson. Having a really great game.
Great hands by Brown. Deflection. Ward picks it up. Magpies are back into attack. Let's go across to Kira. What else can Lightning do, Kira? We haven't quite got Kira there. Kylie Byrne on the screen, looking a little worried. Nelson, it is just her circle. No one is touching her in her circle right now. As we have a HCF, a tactical timeout. called by the Lightning. No surprises there. Kylie Byrne is up talking to her players. We're going to take a listen into the Lightning huddle.
So up until that last one, our centre pass and toss was, our numbers were huge, okay? But it's still that final delivery of a ball. Hey, where is she? Yeah, come on and shoot it for me. Right. The quick ball movement, because you've done something in attack, is exactly, like, that's what's freeing us up to get a ball. Off the centre pass, though, are we setting, like, it looks like we're turning it. Do you want someone to run off you, or do you want to go and get the ball? When? The centre pass.
Oh, we're setting it differently, so sometimes I'm going.
Okay. I reckon when we're on the line, there are times that we can just turn and you go get the ball. Okay. Because I think you're waiting for something to come, but in the end you just go get it and then come down. I reckon we can contest, or, like, just go hard for it. Yeah. Ready or two? 1, 2.
What did you make of the Lightning?
Well, Kylie Byrne just having a discussion there with Laura Sherian in terms of the centre pass setups and just saying, just go and get it. Just go and get the ball. You're trying to set something up. I just want you to get out there and just get it yourself. Get the ball in hand and then you can move it. So, as we saw, Sherian with the ball in hand. Let's see how she goes.
Sherian across to Cassidy. Batcheldor back on the court. Hinchliffe. Cassidy there. The Lightning are stuck on one side of the court. They open it up through Sherian. 3 minutes 20 to play in this third quarter. Batcheldor along the baseline. Suncorp super shot, not to be for her. You might as well put it up though.
Yeah, this is the tricky thing in terms of games like this. For them to have any kind of a chance, they need to be taking some of those longer shots and taking their chances. So,
Jovic, Brown doing a huge amount of work. 82 missing net points for Kelsey Brown. And Shimona Nelson, she's sitting on 50.5. 40 from 44 at 91%. Nicole Richardson would be stoked with her performance tonight. Walsh to Cassidy to Wood. Easily finds Batcheldor for one. You can really sense in this game that the urgency's out of it. The Magpies, it's almost like they're doing a training drill.
yeah, as we see another one just go over the top there. Into Nelson. I mean, the games where you're playing like this and the game almost gets cracked open, you feel like the pressure's kind of off and you can play really freely. So having that feeling out there, obviously they're all in that same groove together in terms of their timing, their connection, and the Lightning just fighting. They're fighting to try and find their groove, aren't they?
She gets one. Suncorp super shot, and they needed it. As the Magpies, they're happy to wait. They don't need to rush to get the ball. Jovic, they go wide, they go into the middle. Allen, late pass to Brown at the top of the circle. Guess where it goes next? Up to Nelson. Whether it's a positional swap down there in the Lightning defence, putting Walsh on Nelson, see what she can do with her vertical jump. Cassidy to Batcheldor. 50 seconds to play in this third quarter. Batcheldor, she's in range. Back to Wood. Double jumps from Ward and Mentor. And a second Suncorp super shot for Steph Wood.
She has found the radar.
And this is where you can't discount the Lightning now. They've found their range. Hinchliffe flying out.
We can see Braz just saying, settle. Settle. She's aware that they're trying to potentially run the clock here.
Brown across to Allen. Great deflection from Kate Walsh. Nothing better than a defender rejecting a shot. Coming from a defender. Cassidy to Sherian. Double play, back and forth.
5 seconds on the clock.
They open it up, Cassidy. Do they know the time? Wood. Oh, doesn't quite sink that one. Another great quarter. And fun fact for you, Caitlin, scores were even in that third quarter. The Magpies still lead by 14, but it was a 17-all quarter.
So you can feel their momentum shift just a tiny bit in the favour of the Lightning in that quarter. I wonder, is it too far beyond them?
Well, we will wait and see, because we've got the last quarter coming up for you on Fox Netball. Lightning come back out onto court. The Magpies are leading by 14. Kira, what did you hear in the Magpies Origin three-quarter time huddle?
Look, I'm down here right alongside the Collingwood sideline, and I couldn't be happier. Nicole Richardson, all smiles, but she asked her defenders for more. She wants Molly Jovic to angle up and look and see if she can pick up any of those drives from Conan coming out of the circle. Look, Ash Brazel just wants more and more and more. She just wants to turn over as much ball as possible in the next 15 minutes. So for me, look, a 14-goal lead may not be the final end score. You could see it go up by more.
You're right, Kira. It could go up by more. Collingwood are searching for their first win of the season, and will it be tonight? On the flip side, though, Katie, the Lightning, it's 14 goals, and they'll be saying it's only 14 goals because they managed to score even in that third quarter. They can do this.
They definitely can, and with the likes of a Steph Wood with that super shot range and the hot hand coming good in the final stages of that third quarter, you never know.
The intensity from the Lightning. Cassidy through Hinchcliffe. Back to Cassidy. No one in the circle for the Lightning.
That's better, that give and go, that connect to get the ball on circle edge.
Finds Conan. Great timing by the Sunshine Coast. Brown, she's had it all, and on her terms in this whole game. Up to Nelson, another one who's had it on her terms all game.
I think the work rate of Kelsey Brown for me, she's making 3, 4 and 5 moves off every single ball. How hard is that to do within the space of 3 seconds?
And Lightning have tried everything. They've tried to set up their wall. They've tried to take her on one-on-one, and she's finding space. She's finding places on her own. And she's the playmaker down there for the Magpies.
She definitely is. And standing up with such a young superstar with a very bright future, Nia Allen, who's had a really great game.
The feed to Nelson. They get the penalty. They're even sharing it now. Nelson, I'll put it down for you. You take it, Nia.
Both players down next to the keeper.
There's a bit of confusion. Nelson just steps right in. Easy does it. Cassidy through Sherian. Back to Hinchcliffe.
With the centre.
Penalty
Yes.
against Jovic. Sherian tries to get her underway quickly. Cross to Conan.
And that's what I was talking about earlier, B, in terms of addressing the post. You see Steph Wood, she turns, she looks, she gets the defender off her, which then actually allows that space for that shooter-to-shooter pass to come.
Jovic straight up to Nelson. Do you double team Nelson in the circle? Or is Nia Allen too much of a threat? You can't leave her on her own.
I do think she's a threat, but sometimes it's actually good to make the shooting load go through the different player. Nia hasn't put up as many shots, so actually, you know, taking it to her, it shifts the pressure.
Brazel, Brown, Allen, Brown, over to Nelson. I feel like we've seen this play many times already tonight. You can see Katie Ann Dehaney in the background, formerly from the Melbourne Vixens. She's getting ready in the interchange box to jump onto court. goalkeeper. Here we see the change, and this is her 50th game as well. What can Lightning do? They're into attack. Allen tries to sneak an intercept there. Cassidy across to Conan, similar play to the Magpies.
Great, that really strong drive from Steph there, just drawing the attention of Mentor.
Sherian tries to get it underway quickly. Back out to Walsh. Cassidy to the top of the circle. There's a lot of physical encounters going on. There's a lot of pushing and shoving.
There is, and
If you see the contact penalties, the Magpies have 42, the Lightning 32, and overall 10 more penalties for the Magpies.
with Jiva Mentor leading that stat currently, sitting on 16, so she's definitely using that physicality back there.
Kira, are all penalties a negative?
Oh, well, there is a time where you can get away with it, and it's when the attackers don't deliver the ball to the person being contacted. It's a sort of fair play, which doesn't sometimes feel fair for some of the attackers, but what needs to happen is the feeders need to give that person the ball and they will get the call. That body-on-body contact in the circle, you can see it. It's really tough one-on-one marking, and I think if Sherian can just give that ball to Wood, it'll release that call, and here we see a bit more space for the Lightning, which they haven't had all night.
And Cassidy, that simple fake it to Wood, goes straight over the top to Conan. They're finding more space, the Lightning.
Yeah.
Jovic, look at her, looking in. Allen looks into Nelson. Dehaney's providing a little bit more of a defence in there.
And just trying to confuse that space. Dehaney and Nelson, both Jamaicans. They would know each other's games quite familiarly.
Magpies back out by 14. Conan across. She's finding form.
That's it.
Newton and Wood pushing and shoving. Couldn't get away with that one. Over to Conan. A great start to this final quarter by Cara Conan, shooting at 96%.
She's doing a great job there, but I think in terms of some of the numbers that we see Nelson's put up the other end, just lacking in volume a little bit. Even though, I mean, she has spent some time on the bench as well with Batchel Dawes coming out there, hasn't she? So.
Wood, Conan, back to Wood, Cassidy, Wood. Not this time, and Jovic makes sure they don't get another shot at it. Mentor into attack, through Brazel. Here we go, the speed machine in Brown. Brazel to Jovic, and Cassidy.
Unfortunately, you can't kick the ball, but it would have been a great play, wouldn't it?
Smart play. Unfortunately, the umpire said no to that one. Jovic, you can see Nelson's hand up in the background. She just wants it in the air. Allen says, I'll do it from out the front. Just falls short. She makes that one count. Magpies, it's their centre pass. The Lightning trying to take it. Jovic's like, okay, hand it over. Let's see what we can do with this one. Brown to Allen. Across they go, back to Brown. You're used to seeing it going up in the air. That was quite a flat pass to Nelson from Brown.
And that quick, the triangles that they're working out the front there, the Magpies too, makes it really difficult for the keeper at the back. Just opens up the angle which the ball can come into the circle.
Can I get you to explain triangles for me? Okay, so if anyone watching this game and they hear quite often in commentary talk about the attack end and they're working their triangles, what does that actually mean, Katie?
So if you draw a straight line between the person with the ball and the person who ends up with it, quite often the defender will put themselves in between those two players. So having a third point of that triangle, it actually means that you can catch the defender out of position. So if you swing the ball across to the other point, you get a more direct line into the attack.
Okay, so a simple version would be a player in the pocket, a player up the top of the circle, and then you shoot it at the post.
Yes, absolutely. So we often see the ball swung from the pocket ball into the top. It opens up the feed into the circle to the shooter.
Magpies extend their lead to 16. Just over 6.5 minutes in this final quarter. Lightning have a huge amount of work to do, but the power five will come into play. How they play it is really going to be a telling sign for this game for the Lightning. Brown, penalty pass, straight to Nelson.
And a nice little screen set there by Naya.
I feel like the Lightning defenders have their eyes down a lot of the time. Even just being able to keep your eyes up and put a hand up to anything, and you can sometimes just get a little tip that you're not expecting.
Yeah, when the ball's moving that quickly, it's really hard to kind of be finding your player, finding the ball at the same time. Sometimes your eyes get caught down in between those two things.
Cara Conant for her 30th.
Great, goal defence.
Kira, Steph Wood was speaking to the umpires at three-quarter time. What was she saying?
Lightning bench haven't been happy all game with the calls that they're not getting. Steph did speak with Kate and Emma, our officiating Origin umpires today. And I have seen a change in the umpiring. We're getting some calls down this far end now. Steph's getting those contact calls that she felt. She turns the ball over there, so it's done no good. But in your experience, B, what's been the it's a step there, a lot of fundamental errors. What's your experience in speaking to the umpires during a break?
Absolutely, the captain should. If you're feeling like you're not getting a fair go at the ball, whether it's a 50-50 contest, and it's not always questioning calls, it's about asking the umpire very nicely if they can just have a look at something that might be happening. You might say, can you just have a look at the shooter? I feel like she's pushing back into us and you're just seeing our reaction, you're not seeing the actual play.
Of course, that's the example you use, Bean.
Of course. Attackers get away with everything. Anyway, back to the game. Lightning, they're in attack. Conan.
And we've just heard the Power 5 siren go off.
This is when the Lightning get excited. Just one now, but keep an eye on what Lightning do from here. If we have a HCF tactical timeout, teams like to reset in this Power 5, work out what they're going to do, what's their strategy, how are they going to play it. They get 90 seconds to work it out. The Magpies significantly leading by 16. Let's take a listen into the Magpies.
Really high up, we'll give them the easy one-pointer, right? Yep. I reckon every now and then, throw in a triangle, right? And you sit in the triangle, pick up Cara on extension, don't go all the way out. Yeah? Don't go to circle edge, and then you can retreat pretty early and let Brazzy play on that. From an attacking perspective, 1 point. That's all we need, the 1 point shot. We don't play around too much. We control the pace. If it's on a post, we give it, yeah? We just control the post. You guys, make sure we're an option, so if we need to reset, we reset. Let's go. What's that one on first? Breathe and push. Take control.
Wait, there's not much long. 5 minutes, leave everything on the court, no regrets.
3, 2, 1.
Well, we heard triangles there.
God, we explained that, but that in that context, it was actually in relation to the defensive structure that they're wanting to set up, but it's all to the same effect, isn't
That's
it?
right. It's about having that free player at the back to swoop on the ball. Kira, were you listening into the Lightning huddle?
Yeah, Kylie Byrne happy with the intent of her players. She felt they've lifted, but they need to lift another gear now for these last 5 minutes. We've got Vicky Wilson here giving encouragement, asking her girls to lift here for this last 5.
Bacheldor on the court, Conan off the court. Suncorp super shot.
Oh!
That's exactly what the Lightning need.
And a great start to the Power 5 for the Lightning.
Magpies through Newton. Nelson, hand up, she's ready. She wants it, and as Nicole Richardson said in their huddle, One is just enough. Every time, we're happy to have one. Cassidy. Two Hinchcliffes, both on the back transverse line for the Lightning.
Contact goal defence. There you are.
Newton out of play. Wood straight to Bachelor at the top of the circle. For 2 from 2 for Riley Bachelor.
Even with the defence from behind then too, Ash Braz had a go at that shot.
11 goals the difference. Just over 3 minutes to play in this final quarter.
We see that super shot accuracy there. So the Magpies sitting at 60%. Obviously, in comparison to our normal shooting range, it is a bit lower. Because it's further up, it's harder, Bianca.
It's harder, riskier. Lightning through Sherian. Double play with Bachelor.
Contact wing. Centre third.
Magpies doing everything they can to halt this momentum from the Lightning. Can she do it again? Oh! Yes, she can.
Does this change the Magpies' strategies? Do they need to go for some twos?
Back within 10. What can the Magpies do? Straight to Nelson. Again, they're happy with one. Will that be enough?
Is it about weathering the storm for the Magpies here?
2 minutes 20.
Feel the Lightning coming at them. Do they just need to hold on?
Cassidy. Bachelor up the middle. She wants it again. Wood this time.
Contact goal defence.
Now it's a penalty, but Bachelor will want to play quickly. There you see Wood take it. Bachelor in the Suncorp super shot range.
Suction.
And she does it again.
We saw her do this at the TGC at the start of the season, B. She is an absolute superstar.
And of course, you bring her on. Watch the Harvey Norman replay here. It's just so cool when she takes that in the air.
We see those last 10 super shots there. Lightning.
10 goals the difference. Just over a minute 20. Bachelor will want the ball in her hands, but Newton says no chance.
Lightning also attempting to play
Quick to Bachelor.
quickly here. They've only got a minute left.
Here she goes again. Passes it to Wood. Still in range. And she does it. Incredible play by the Lightning. They're using it to their advantage now. Have they given themselves enough time? Jovic. Allen. Back to Jovic. They're happy to play around with it. Nelson. Over the top of Walsh. You think the Magpies have weathered this storm fairly well in this final couple of minutes of this game. Wood to Sherian. Mentor gets her hand in there. Bachelor again.
Oh, just over the top. Too much on that one.
Magpies just need to keep control. It's been an incredible final quarter by the Sunshine Coast Lightning. They have won the final quarter by 6, but it's been the Magpies all game. They have controlled the pace. They've been unbelievable in attack. What Nicole Richardson has been asking to see from her players is Allen doesn't quite finish it off with a Suncorp super shot.
And Nelson will get the final shot after the siren here.
And listen to the crowd. 10-goal win for the Collingwood Magpies. They've been wanting and waiting for this win all season. They've had concussion, their coach has been out, they've had COVID. 2 of their top shooters were out this game, Caitlin, with COVID health and safety protocol, and they brought in Nia Allen, their training partner, and she did not disappoint.
Didn't she stand up? And I think the exciting thing for Nia is that she will probably get the selection again for the next game, because those 2 players will have to sit out the next game as well.
Nye Allen 11 from 13 at 85% and 3 from 6. Suncorp super shots as the Magpies theme song plays in the background. Nicole Richardson looking very happy. I'm sure there's a big smile under that mask. It's great to see the smiles on the faces of the Magpies as we cross down to Kira Tromp with our player of the match.
Here I am with Kelsey Brown. That song ringing out through the stadium. It must be a joy for you to hear that play for the first time in 2022.
Definitely. I think after last week, everyone was really gritting their teeth trying to get that win, and it just feels so surreal today that we've got it. Unfortunately, we don't have two of our players here today, but that was for them.
On that, Nye Allen stepped up for you tonight. I felt, you know, she really took the Lightning by surprise, and you played into her hands, delivering a beautiful ball all night, topping the list of net points, 101. You just were the playmaker for them, but you were really Nia, and you worked so well together.
Yeah, we actually had a bit of a chat before the game. We just sort of said playoff instinct, we'll talk each other through it, and we connected really well off that line. We just kept having chats, and I think that was the key to it. I think she felt really comfortable out there, so that's all you can ask for.
Look, you were amazing tonight. Looking forward, you've got Giants next week in Sydney, back up the coast to Sydney. What to work on that you can take away? So for us in the commentary, it looked like a training drill. So what to work on for you guys?
I think we went away, we looked at so many things that we could fix, but we really knuckled down on one or two. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. We know we've got a really good foundation there of good play. We just need to string it together over 60 minutes. I know that's so cliche, but that's been our issue. So I think we actually did that tonight. Everyone played their role. There was no standout player, and I think that's what makes a great team. So we're getting there.
Absolutely, Kelsey, you nailed it. It was a team effort tonight, and you were the front of the team. So congratulations and all the best next week.
Thanks, Kira.
Well done to Kelsey Brown. Wasn't she awesome? Let's take a look at the match stats. It was all the Magpies. Katie, they shot well, more gains, and the turnovers, the Lightning, they just had too many.
Yeah, and if we see there too, the missed net points clearly winning multiple positions there with the discrepancy between 471 to 313.
And if we have a quick look at the ladder, we know the Melbourne Vixens are sitting up the top because of last night. The Collingwood Magpies, they'll be very happy to be off the bottom.
Yeah, absolutely. The Vixens sitting on the top there, but these teams, you know, anything can happen here. There's some really quick turnarounds. Obviously, COVID's still playing a huge part in what teams are putting out there.
Okay, stay with us. We'll be wrapping up this game after the break. What a great win for the Collingwood Magpies.